Hey guys, I thought that today would be kind of fun to go through and use all of my favorite high-end products for a full face. I have high-end except maybe one of the eyeliners I might use. A lot of it is in the stores now. Some things maybe you might not be able to. I'm looking around and maybe just a bronzer might be an issue, but all I'm saying is that you don't need to go run out and buy anything. You very well may have all of this, a lot of it, one or two things in your collection. So if you're interested in seeing what my favorite bougie things are, stick around because we are putting makeup on. So I finally have a day where I'm not subject to a bunch of plans and commitments and other people's time frames. So I'm gonna try to film 2 videos today, which is pretty impressive for me. I have a new background. I painted. I made my husband put up some shelves that I made. Aren't those cool? It's just a live edge wood that I beat the crap out of, stained, and put up on some piping. Very Pinteresty. They used to be in my son's room a couple years ago, and apparently he needs more space for shelves full of, I don't know, all his things. So this stuff, these shelves had to go. What's going on here? Whoa. It's like prom 1992 all over again. Oh, you know what? We're keeping it. Okay, so I am going to start with the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I just have a small one of it right now because this is expensive, but so nice. You only need a little bit. I already have my moisturizer on, which, by the way, just to keep things copacetic, is also Tatcha. It's my favorite. It's just so luxurious feeling. And you wouldn't think that a moisturizer, like, it would really matter, but if you know, you know, it does matter. Now, one of my favorite high-end foundations, a liquid foundation, is the Too Faced Born This Way. Mine is in the shade Light Beige. And I find that when this goes on, it does oxidize a little bit for me. It almost looks like it doesn't match at first, but it will. We'll get there. No high-end sponges for me. I am not that crazy. I find that this gives a nice kind of in-between medium and full coverage finish. The glow is good. It's just kind of a simple, easy, I don't have to mess with it much foundation. I don't have a concealer up here because I don't have a high-end concealer that I think is any better than any of the drugstore ones. And honestly, I don't wear concealer that often anyway. I do like a good color corrector. Sometimes the Maybelline one, I think it's 160 from that eraser line, but I didn't even bring it up here with me today because I don't think it's that necessary. I'll just take it down my neck a little bit. Boom. After I put on my foundation with a sponge, which is what I do like 99% of the time, I don't like brush application. I have a nice brush, it doesn't help. I don't like the finish it leaves. And even if I do use a brush, I'm still gonna dab over it with a damp sponge just to kind of make it a more natural finish. But I like to look into a close-up mirror and just make sure everything is to my liking. But you don't have to do concealer and color corrector and all that stuff every day. If that feels like too much or if that's confusing for you, fine, don't do it. I don't. Okay, and then I go back in with the blank side of my sponge and just kind of go around the hairline just to make sure that I have any kind of weird business collecting or any kind of weird lines between where the skin meets the hairline. Does that make sense? Okay. Then I have the Kosas Cloud Set powder in Feathery. Now, mine broke. Of course, now it's not going to come off. Here we go. That kind of blows. So I'm just taking a regular powder blush and I'll just kind of set my foundation with this. Not a lot of it. Just enough to take the tackiness away so that I can go in with some powder products after and not have catching issues. Now, I do have another bougie powder that I really like too, but I won't use it all over my face. I'll show you that here in a minute. But first I'm going to do bronzer, and this is the one I'm not sure you can get anymore in store. It is NARS Viarte Matte. It's a really good shade for me, just to kind of do a little definition. Now, me being very much not the professional, I am horrible about crossing over my bronzer and my contour. but I have kind of a neutral skin tone, and I find that I can, at least I think I can get away with it. I don't know, maybe you're all laughing at me, but you're gonna make sure that you blend your bronzer, contour, whatever you're using, up and away from your face. Blend it into your hairline. I'm not even using that much, and I think the light here kind of washes it out. As a matter of fact, that was frightening. Let's simmer that down just a little bit more on there. NARS makes really, really nice contours and bronzers. This is a horrible brush to use for this. Also not the right brush, but we'll make it work. Right along the jawline to give it that nice sharp edge. And if I were to contour along my nose at all, I'd be using completely the wrong brush, such as like kind of narrow it down a little bit. Contour. My favorite blush that is, gotta get a drink just talking about it. Anyway, this is the Buxom Wanderlust, and I've talked about this before. This is in the shade Seychelles, and I went online to double check and make sure that it was still available. It's sold out on Ulta, and that's the only place I looked. So I'm sure you can still find it on Amazon, or if you look a little harder, dig a little bit. But this is the best pinky brownish color, which maybe you might not think is going to be so great for your cheeks, but it really is. If you have a skin tone similar to mine, don't turn your nose up to this. So you're already starting to wake my face up a little bit. There we go. Wake up. My favorite high-end highlighter is a cross between Benefit Cookie, which is this beautiful champagne shade, and ABH Amrezy. Now that's a little bit more gold, so I'm going to show you Benefit Cookie. This is one of those, like, you can see this from the sky. The glare off of this highlighter could probably crash a plane. And then this is the Amrezy. Now, I don't know if you can tell from this or not, but the Amrezy is definitely a little bit more of a gold finish, and the Cookie is more of a shimmery champagne. But they both have a lot of shine power. So pretty. And I think, though, for today, I'm going to go with the Amrezy just because of the tan in my sweater. Yeah. And I have a brush that I use for it, but honestly, it's already on my finger. So when I use a finger to apply it, I just go along the top of my cheekbone, and then I kind of take a clean finger and brush it down. Dust it down, maybe that's a better term. And then I go back in with my blush again and just lightly dab over it. It just gives a nice glow from within finish. That's it. That's all you need to do. And whatever is left on my fingertip, on the top of my lip, tip of my nose, she is an elf. While I'm getting this cleaned off my fingers, let me tell you what I'm going to film next. So I am kind of excited because I got a subscription to Daily Look, which is a clothing subscription service. And I took my time, like, looking for a couple of months, trying to decide which one I really liked the most, like which program spoke the most to me as far as having clothes that I thought would look good and that sort of thing. Pause. I just been doing a little Vaseline on my lips when I start getting ready, just to kind of soften everything up. Play. I'm gonna film that. So I had my first box arrive from them. This is the other powder that I like, the other bougie one. This is the Givenchy Prisme Libre. Mine is in the shade number 3. It's Vol Rose. Now the neat thing about this is it has 4 separate containers of powder in it, and then the idea is that you tap a little in the cap. See how it's got kind of a pinkish shade to it? And those colors together kind of color correct and give a nice smooth finish. So I'll just take a little of this on a little triangle corner of a makeup sponge and dab. Just under my eye a little bit, and in the T-zone, on the base of my nose, and on my chin. And that's it. Now, yes, I know there's still some sitting there. I know. So I'll take a clean brush and just dust away the excess. It leaves such a beautiful finish. It's not even funny. It's so expensive though. Okay, let's put some eyebrows on. Love of God, eyebrows. My favorite brow product that I have been using lately, well, let me correct myself with that. It's like the top 2 or 3 that I've been using lately. And this one is from Gwen Stefani's line. It's the Give collection, and she has a couple of them. And this one is Most Def, and it's the Instant Definition Sculpting Brow Pencil. This one is what shade? I don't believe it's blonde, but this has that funny little kind of almost like a paddle. Powder on my hand, but that helps you to be able to kind of follow the shape of your brow and just leave little individual hairs. And this isn't very exciting, so we're just going to fast forward through this. Okay, so while I put my final touches on the brows here, I think the reason that I like this one is because it goes on really smooth, and when all the stars line up, I can do very fine lines. You'll see that on, well, I don't know if you can see it or not, but on this side I was able to do very fine lines, but on this side I'm not. Now the problem with something like this is that to sharpen it, you're just twisting up, and the actual product itself doesn't get sharp, so you don't have that nice flick that you can kind of make like you could with a brow marker type product. But this is still good. Once you get it combed through with the spoolie, I think it leaves a nice natural finish, looks realistic, and I, for the most part, am pretty happy with it. Do you guys see my Halloween decoration? Another high-end brow product that I just recently picked up, and I actually got this at, I think, TJ Maxx. This is the Too Faced Brow Wig, and this is in the shade Dirty Blonde. This is one of those brow setter mascara wand type situations that has like the little hairs on it. And this one has the most hairs I think I've ever seen in a product like this. I found that the times I've used it, which is a handful, so this isn't necessarily like a favorite or holy grail, it's just a high-end brow product I wanted to throw into this. I found that the times that I've used it though, that it goes on kind of intense, like more so than I would have expected from this kind of product. So I will follow up with a, yeah, like this side actually looks darker than this side right now. I don't know how that happened. And honestly, maybe it's not so much that it's intense. Maybe it's actually just making my brows look fuller. Maybe it's doing what it says it's supposed to do. So I'm just going to follow up with the Benefit Brow Setter, which is my favorite high-end clear brow gel stay in place product thing. There's a lot of these out there. This one is the 24-hour brow setter. I think I already said that. And then I am going to use a clean spoolie and just kind of direct everything where I want it to go and set it down, run away from it, be done, because brows. The next thing I wanted to point out that I think is a killer product, I just caught a glimpse of myself and I feel like I need more blush, so more blush. That's the other thing about this Seychelles shade, is it's so soft. You can really build it up. Okay, I have a thing for Tarte eyeshadows. And I couldn't decide between the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea palette, which is so pretty, right? I just feel like Tarte shadows go on so smoothly, and while I don't carry like the world's highest amount of pigment, I don't do a lot of like really intense eyeshadow looks, so that works out for me. And then the other one that I love so much is the Tarte Clay Play palette, and this one has several looks you can do. It's so pretty. This is all you need on vacation if you want to do a couple of different looks, but I can't decide which one I want to use today. The thing about the Tarte Clay Play though is that it's all matte, so I'm probably going to incorporate both of them. I think what I'm going to do is just a real simple look, and I'm going to use, interesting the difference in the kind of just plain white shades here. Those are the bases. Now you know, you just don't find good base colors. I don't think you do. So I really appreciate that there's 3 to choose from on this little palette. How much am I not gonna switch it up? All right, so we're gonna go in with this center, this center situation here. So we're gonna put on, you guys, this isn't a tutorial. I'm just doing my makeup while you're sitting here. Remember those days where you used to go hang out at your friend's house and you'd just sit there in the bathroom while they were getting ready and you'd be like, why are you so beautiful? No? Just me? Okay. Here's one little tutorial bit. If you have a hard time having lighter shadow show up when you're doing like a full eye look, so I'm talking about like what's on your lid, what's towards the center of your eye, take that lighter color and go over your whole lid and into your crease. You don't need a lot, just enough to kind of go in there and set down and give something for that darker shade to blend into. And remember, the smaller the brush you use, the more control you have. So you might want to go, you might think you're gonna need to go in with a big old blender brush, but you don't. You're just throwing that color around places you don't need it to be. Now, I know that looks crazy, but just stay with me. Sometimes I would wait to go in with that lightest color on the lid, either at the center area or over the whole lid or whatever, after I'd already done a darker color. And I find that if I put that down, if I lay that down first, I have better, I have better luck with the blending afterwards. I'm just taking a big blender, clean blender brush now. I'm going along that top area. So my husband and I went to this really sweet little Scandinavian, I don't know if you could call it a festival or what. It's over in Geneva, Illinois, which we don't even live in Illinois, so it was a little bit of a haul for us. And it's in this park where they have all these little cottages, and the history is that people would camp in this park, and then the camping got a little bit more boujie and little cottages were built. Some of them don't even have a bathroom in them, and there's like a community bathroom like you would normally have in a camping park situation. And there's a ton of cottages there. Not all of them were open to the public for this event, but maybe 25 or so were, and they were so cute. Now, I wish there would have been more Nordic stuff, but there was, I would say like maybe 40 or 50% of the stuff was Scandinavian in some way, shape, or form, and the rest of it was kind of like people were selling jewelry they were making. And all I can say is that, man, I wish I knew about this when my mom was still alive, because she would have loved it so much. She probably would have spent an hour in each little cabin. There were people there who do rose mulling, which is the folk art that my mom used to do, and maybe you've heard me say this before, it's what's tattooed on my arm is rose mulling. Anyway, it was a lot of fun, very touching to be there and see all the things that were along the lines of what was so special in my family. I always have to stop and check my progress as I'm blending. Do you guys do that too? Because I feel like you can get kind of a tunnel vision situation. Anyway, my husband and I were both pretty sure that I would probably cry while we were there, and I didn't. Happy to say I did not. I kept it together. I have cried other places like that remind me of my mama. I'm just going in with my pinky finger into the darkest shade in that little center section. Giving myself a little bit of a oomph at the corner here, and then I'll go in with a brush and blend it in a little. It won't take much though. That's the thing that's so great about Tarte eyeshadows, they're just, it takes such little effort, and they're vanilla scented. I'm gonna go in now to that C palette. I'm gonna use this one and just dab a little bit of that over the center of my lid. Okay, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of the brighter white on the inside of my corner of my lid here, just to brighten things up a little bit. Speaking of brightening things up, I don't have, okay, that's not true. I was gonna say I don't have a high-end eyeliner. I do, I have a NARS one that I like, and this is their pencil. This is in, it's the Velvet eyeliner. And this is in, you guessed it, brown. And I like it very much, but I just prefer a felt tip. And I have not found a high-end felt tip that I think is better than my go-to from the drugstore, which is the Physicians Formula Eye Boost. I can get the most precise lines with this. Like, you're not even trying and it's instant precision. Now, you know I don't really do... I hate it when YouTubers say things like, but you guys know me. No, you don't. You don't know. I don't expect you to come here and watch a video and know and remember all the little details about me. However, no, that's true. I don't expect that. I don't put liner on my lower lash line. I don't even put mascara down there. Is there like a motorcycle gang here or something? I don't even use mascara on my lower lashes because my eyes get watery and ends up being like wiped away. Oh my gosh, I just realized I started doing mascara and I didn't even talk about what I was using. This is the Give. I only have a deluxe sample size right now, but this is the Can't Stop Staring. I really like this. I think I'm gonna buy a full size of it, like Black Friday or something like that, if they have a good sale come out, because I have a lot of good mascaras. But this is my favorite. Between this one and the Lancome Lashy Doll, those are the two best high-end mascaras that I think I've found. And I hope this doesn't turn into be one of those where the deluxe sample size that you get to try is better than the actual full-size product. I'm looking at you, ABH. Does any of you have this happen to you? I have fairly long eyelashes, and sometimes they curl up weird, and I don't curl my lashes, but like the first 2/3 are normal and go straight up, and then this outer side, like the last third, is like curled in. It looks kind of strange, and I don't know why it happens. I'm just wondering if any of you guys deal with this too, and if you do, is there a secret I need to know to beat it? Because I have tried curling my lashes. I've even used a little heat tool thing that is out there. No, nothing works. So I thought that maybe using those little tiny sections of the false eyelashes might help that look a little more balanced, and I can't master those. So speaking of my lower lash line, I will take this. This is the Tarte Fake Awake. It is the creamy white eyeliner. Do that? And here's the trick with that. Just go in the center of your lower lash line here, right underneath where your iris is, and just do a little bit of a line there. And this is supposed to help you look more awake. Do you see the difference in brightness on this side versus this side? It's not much, it's really subtle, but it's there, and I'll take it, especially on days if I don't get enough sleep or want to make a little bit more of an effort. But a little goes a long way, because otherwise it just looks kind of strange. It's just basically mimicking the natural color of your eye in that area. And I'm looking at this one, it looks like I got more over here than the other. That's okay, it's fine, we're fine. Take a drink. The best bougie lipstick. This is Huda Beauty, and it is their satin lipstick line in the shade Babyface. I love this more than I probably should. I don't need to use a lip liner with this. I've talked about it before. You can just kind of not even pay attention to what you're doing, and it just goes where it needs to go. I found this lipstick when I was desperately in search of a dupe for the Too Faced Peach collection. They did a shade called Sex on the Peach. This is a dupe for it. It is as close to dupe as I could ever possibly get. It's just a really pretty, soft, neutral rose shade with just a touch of brown. I love it so much. It is not a long-lasting lipstick. It doesn't claim to be. And then I'll go in with a little bit of the, if I feel like it, the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plum. These are the ones that have the little click thing at the bottom. And I'll just take a little in the center, just to up the sheen level just a little bit. And for setting spray, you can't beat Urban Decay's All Nighter. Like, it's really good. This happens to be the summer solstice version. Once you apply this, your face, it's not going anywhere. Also, I have to take my hair down because it's driving me nuts. This is taking an awkwardly long time. Full face of my favorite high-end products. Tell me down below what some of your favorite high-end products, like tried and true stuff that you have used over and over and you know will not fail you. If you're doing a bougie day and you're getting out the good stuff, what is it? I hope that you guys got something out of this video. Share below, please. What is your favorite high-end product? What are the top 2 or 3 things that you absolutely know are no fails and you can't live without? Because I might need them. I might not even be able to live any longer if I don't have them. So share. Don't gatekeep. Come on. Type it out below. My favorites are eyeshadows all day, every day. The Givenchy Prisme Libre powder, Born This Way, Too Faced Born This Way foundation, just fantastic. Oh, and I guess like I want to say all of it, honestly, but this Give Can't Stop Staring mascara. I need to buy a full size of it, and it better be just as good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I am going to continue filming. Moving on to another subject in another video, another time. Daily look. That's what I'm getting ready to go film. I don't know which is going up first, but if you haven't watched that one yet, go watch it. And when I'm done with that one, if you haven't watched that one yet, this one yet, then go watch this. Bye.